Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you a strategy that I use in practice and that you can use in your practices as well. So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. On this channel, I'll show you basketball plays, drills, and skills. So if you like that stuff, hit that like button and subscribe. But anyways, I'm going to show you a great set of drills that I like to run in my practices. I know they're going to work really well with your team. Basically, what it is you're going to have 7 offensive players. You're only going to have 5 defensive players, and you're going to be running 7 on 5. Now, what you can be doing, and this does take up your whole team. If you have 12 players and you have 12 players in practice, this will utilize your whole team. Now, what you're practicing here is not your offense. You want to teach your team, actually technically it could teach you offense by just passing and cutting and filling in open spots on the court and not kind of meshing together in one big clumped ball. So this could be really great at the very young level, at like the under 7 age, under 8 age, because they tend to just pass and follow the ball wherever they go. But at the older age group, it's going to be teaching the defensive side of things. So you can run a 2-3 zone defense, a 3-2, 1-3-1, whatever it is, and have 7 offensive players. Let's get down to the clipboard. I'll show you what I mean. So we have 7 offensive players. That's the blue players. We have 5 defensive players. And of course, they're playing a 2-3 zone. So obviously, they're going to be wanting to play a bit higher. Now, the idea behind running 7 offensive players is because now they really need to be watching and keeping their heads on a swivel. By keeping their heads on a swivel, they're really getting down to the core aspect of when the ball gets passed, they're going to be going over and filling in those spots as quickly as possible. Player 1 just passed, so he might be able to cut towards the rim. And the whole goal of the 7 players offensively is to go and try and score. So player 4 can then pass over to player 6. Player 3 will then fill up. We might have player 7 going up, player 5 filling out, 1 staying in the post, maybe 1 going into the high post right now. And it's really going to make the defense move very quickly. Same idea as a 3-2 or a 1-3-1 zone. It doesn't matter. You could even be playing man-to-man defense and keeping possibly 2 players open, but teaching your team to switch off really quickly. So if there's an open man that gets a ball, so let's say we're playing man-to-man defense right now, and let's say we're all on our players, except obviously player 7 and player 6 are open. Player 3 could pass to player 7. And now what's happened? We have an open player. What could happen now? Well, we could have player 5 fill out. Depending on how good of shooters these 2 players are, player 5 could fill out. If the ball goes down here, player 2 can then fill over. Player 1 can then fill, and player 4 can fill over here. Now, of course, this still looks like a zone defense, but now it's called a scramble defense, or at least that's what I call it, a scramble man-to-man defense, where we might have a player injured on the other side of the court. We have 4 defensive players, 5 offensive players. They're going to be needing to switch in between and still cover the players who make a smart decision to cover 4. So, obviously, we're not going to be needing, let's say, we're not going to be leaving these 2 players open. They're 1 and 2 passes away. So these guys need to scramble over and cover those guys. Player 5 could even scramble over and cover player 1. Even though this is still a man-to-man defense and we have 2 players open, it's just an idea. It's just a way that you would defend if you're short players in a man-to-man type of defense. Now you can also run these on the full court as well. So you can run 7 on 5 full court, have the 5 players playing a full court press, and see if they're able to stop the 7 players. Of course, this is a high difficulty type of drill, so these are great at the high school levels, especially if you're a team that's running the full court press. So as we can see here in the full court, we're running the full court press. We're running a 1-2-1-1 just as an example, and player 4 would then get the ball. Player 1 red would then be covering player 4. We would have player 3 move down, player 2 would be covering these 2, player 4 red might take a step forward, and then what we're hoping for, let's say we can get that ball over. We're trying to trap here just like always in a full court press, but we're going to be forcing player 4 over, which could then bring player 3 up, or possibly a pass over to player 6, in which case these players need to then run and recover. But again, 7 out of 5 is a high difficulty drill, but is very useful, especially if you want to get your defense moving fast, thinking fast, and filling in those spots. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video.